Hello and welcome to the second live of Freelancer Coffee Break, which is actually on Saturday today. Normally it should be on Thursday, but we had a delay and we are ready right now because we want to bring you quality. And today we're going to talk about offers. Before that, if you don't know me, I am William Webkowski. I am the co-owner of Freelancer, and Freelancer is actually a movement. It's not a company; it's a movement that brings freelancers community, a lifestyle, financial freedom, time freedom, and ready systems. So today I'm coming with you with a ready system, which is uh, creating an offer. So a freelancer offer, actually. And uh, so let's get to this straight to the point. And here we go. So let's talk about freelancers without an offer. So most freelancers show that they have just no offer. They have it in their mind if they don't use Fiverr. And I am an example of a freelancer I like that. I didn't use any offers. Everything was in my head. I didn't write down anything. And this is just a basically the biggest mistake is not write down. So you, as you can see, like when you go to hire to a freelancer with, let's say, an offer from Fiverr, um, it's actually written down. So the main difference between freelancers that don't have an offer with a freelancer that have an offer, let's say on Fiverr or Upwork on another platform like that, let's say Contra, then they just don't have it written down. So it's very, very important. Um, I believe that Bill Gates probably that just came to my mind. He said that writing down things are is like one of the best skills for earning money. And of course, I know there's a lot of examples of people that write and don't have money, but you see the main difference is that rich people are have things structurized. So if you have a CEO of a rich company, they probably have written down their systems, and an offer is just a system like that. So let's go to freelancers with an offer on Fiverr, and this is quite different. They have written down their offer, and of course they can earn money. Um, but the biggest problem is that freelancers on such platforms they actually have something generic about this. Yes, so this is the biggest problem that actually those offers look the same. Every time I go to Fiverr, to Upwork, to Contra, I see the same, you know, the same offer. Yes, every time. It's just about the scope, actually. Okay, so let's go now much further to freelancers that have their own offer, and it's actually freelancers with core value. And the core value means that they have a scope, they have a risk reversal, which will come to this. They have time delivery very low, or at least psychologically low. And client actions are also very low. They decrease the amount of their client works to minimum. So these are the core values, but they don't use boosters. And booster is the thing that enhances your offer, and it brings you up to the freelancer offer on this top here, which we'll basically cover now on this live. And the freelancer offer is actually the system that has, things like naming, like copywriting, great copywriting, for who is it, for who's not this offer, and a bit of scarcity, of urgency, and stuff like that. Okay. So you also need to have your you need to have a great mindset. Like I said before, if you like don't write things down, it's very hard to get a client. Like I did. I When I started, I it was very hard because I didn't have my offer just written down. I didn't have the mindset of writing. So here's an example of things that you can change in your mindset. So instead of saying, "Can I do it?" I actually say how to do it. And just just want to just one thing. I just want to add that I'm showing this because this is the mindset of a freelancer, not a freelancer. It's freelancer with the D inside. So I just want to show you a bit of it. Yes, just a snack, little snack. So here we have, can I do it? And instead of that, you can say how to do it, because a freelancer can do anything if he just thinks how to do it. Am I ready? The next question should be, what's my next step? What if I fail? What if I learn? So see, this is the biggest difference. It's like me right now, just starting my second life. It's quite hard actually for me right now in this moment, but I'm learning stuff. So even if I fail today, if I don't share my knowledge to you properly, I will learn how to later on share the knowledge with you more efficient. And instead of saying, is this perfect? Is this done? And where do I start? What's step one? And that's the motto for today. What's step one for creating this offer today? Okay, I'll just check the chat. Um, do we have any questions right now? I don't think so on X, but I'll try to see it on YouTube. Okay, let's just check. Okay, just gotta switch my account to Will Webkoski. Okay, just want to be sure I forgot to actually view my channel on YouTube. Uh, I really recommend. I really recommend to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay, let's go. 20 views. That's pretty good. It's like the first few minutes, so I'm pretty happy about it. Okay, so where do I start? What's step one? That's the difference, yes. And what if I fail? What if I learn? Just I said before. Okay, so let's push further. Um, okay. Because the chat is here, probably. Is it? Just give me a second. Just want to show. Okay. Let's go here. Okay, nothing on the chat. Let's go. Okay. Let's head to the main offer. So again, today our main goal of this live is to show how to create an offer, and you have two main components, which is the main offer, and here you want to increase the results, meaning the scope of this offer, and you want to increase the risk reversal. So something like a social proof, like numbers, like case study or something like that. Okay, then you have the delivery time and the client action. So you want to make the delivery time as fast as possible. And now let me get clear here. The delivery time is quite hard sometimes to to decrease this one, because if you have something um if you have something like the delivery offer, like, I don't know, you create a website, it's not easy to make it in an hour. Yes, especially a great strategy website. And here we have client actions, which is the last one. And here client action is actually, you want to make your client effort very, very, very low. Okay, so I have two questions here, and just let me highlight this one before I just go to the next step of creating boosters for your offer. Because as I showed you before, um, we want to have the freelancer offer, which includes boosters. Okay, so let's see the question here. Okay, what is the biggest obstacle to preparing offers? Like I mentioned before, probably the biggest obstacle to create an offer, to prepare an offer, is actually writing it down. I think this is the biggest problem. That's one. And the second thing is to write actually an offer that touches your client's needs and frustrations and fears. I think this is like, you need to understand the psychology of your typical client, which is basically the thing that big companies do. But freelancers as solopreneurs, they, they don't do it very often. So I would say there are two things. The basic one is just writing it down into, I don't know, like a program, like Notion, or just in your notes, or just in Google Docs or something like that. And I think this is like the biggest problem. Okay. And the second question, well, I'll answer that later, actually. So I'll just hide that. Uh, okay, maybe I'll show this as well. So, how to name an offer so that it sounds premium. So we're just heading to that. It's not too easy, actually. This is a complicated question. I would say the most complicated, actually, one, because naming an offer is, you need a creative. You need a really good brain to actually make an offer that sounds premium. I wouldn't say it's like something like a retainer, or let's say main offer. That's not the case. Um, for instance, my package at my agency, webkoski.com, is actually, it's named Excite, which is the connection of excite, like excitement, but it's the X, like on X side. Yes. So it just it's just a fun name, but I think like it sounds pretty premium, because it has this X, which is a futuristic letter, and it's also side, and it's a combination of X side, so excitement. We want to bring excitement to our clients. So yeah, that's the point. Okay, let's head now from the main offer to boosters. And here we'll cover the avatar, with meaning this is actually from the book of copywriting secrets. I really like this book. It's on, does the offer feel that it's, heading to me? Yes. uh, am I, am I do I fit to this offer? So this is the avatar. So for who is it, for who it's not. Naming, so just like I said, it's the most creative part of an offer. Here we have urgency next. So we want to, show the offer and say something like, you will have a discount only if you say yes to this offer. You have a 20% discount, let's say. Yes. Or if you don't have discounts, you may say something like, I don't know, like, only today we will teach your team on how to manage the website, if you do websites, for example. Okay, let's head to scarcity. So scarcity is one of the best. I actually really like to use it on my website, which is, let's say 2 slots left. It's a great booster. um it means that you don't have place. It means that it's also a kind of a social proof. It shows that you actually, like, you have clients. Yes. So people trust you. And the best thing about buying stuff from others is that they actually, like, they actually want to buy stuff from other people. So if I see that, you know there's something that is interesting me and people buy it, I will buy it as well. So if I, let's say, if I have shoes, okay, if I like, when I see a brand that is selling shoes and people are buying it, it's most likely I will buy it as well. So same with scarcity. Okay. um Great. Then we have bonuses, and bonuses are things like, let's say premium, um PDFs, or maybe, let's say, you can teach the team of your client on how to use the website. Yes, so that's quite important. Okay, and last but not least, we have pricing. And um so here's the question on how to price the first offer. And my answer to this comment is, how to price the first offer. It really depends, because this life is on how to create an offer. And actually, you can have many offers. And the first offer, um, it's a bit different. Like, the first offer should be probably a lead magnet, which is free. So here's the answer. It should be probably free. So let's say you make websites, then you can just go and buy, just no, not sorry, not buy. The word is, take the lead magnet as an audit, let's say. So you create websites and you want to uh, give clients a lead magnet, and you want to give an AI powered audit, let's say. Yes. So this is actually, the pricing should be probably zero. Depends on the client, but I would say zero is the right offer for the first contact. Okay, payments. Uh, Payments. You can take 100% upfront or after the work, but I really don't recommend this way. Uh, I really recommend um, splitting it on 30/70. So paying 30% upfront and 70% later on. You can also take, I don't know, like, let's say 10-20% while working. That also works for me. Um, I, I was researching this one, actually. on how to make the payment system. And I would say the 3070 is probably the best system for payments. I would say this is probably the best one, but it really depends on your system. That's why I really suggest you to write down the this is those systems here, the boosters and the main offer. It's very important. It's very crucial because every freelancing business is different. You sell, you know, as a freelancer, you're probably selling something unique. If you're not, I really suggest also to do this, and then you can say what is your pricing best. What's the best payment up there? Okay, great. Also, I highly recommend to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I was talking about the FPS system for sales automation for freelancers. So, mm, so the main problem, the main topic of this video is actually the problem of freelancers with taking holidays, vacations, and because if you go on holidays, you just don't earn money, and the FPS system actually allows you for that. So, also highly recommend to watch this video on YouTube. Uh, okay. So guys, I want to this is right now you're heading the main part, which is the freelancer offer. Okay. Okay, so let's just all I need to change here on my screen. Um, okay, so for those who are watching right now, I want to show here on this live stream on how your offer separates cheap freelancers from the one top percent of freelancers. And in the market with a lot of freelancers with similar offers, it's very tough to be unique. Most solopreneurs have generic offers suggested by popular platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, Contra. And the top 1% of the market acquires new clients by themselves with their own designed offers. This is why we are creating today our custom design offer. And today's question is how to actually be in the top 1% of freelancers with the offers, how actually to build an offer, how to increase acceptance rate, and how to make your offer look trustworthy. So we want to learn how to say more yes from the client, how to make your offer look legit, and how to build an offer structure. So guys, I want to share a story with you. So before I use this system that I'm showing you right now and after, so it was probably about December 2019. And, for a long time, I was stuck at $40,000 and having a lot of services at once. And I was making website, tutoring, math. I was really good tutor, actually. And I am also a good tutor because sometimes I like to just teach I just love to teach like here right now. I also love to make design, and but every time a client called my number, I was changing my offer in my head, and I didn't wrote down ever before, and everything was in my brain. And spoiler alert, that was a bad idea. And my conversion rate was at that time about 1%, which means that a client called me and every 100th client said yes. That's actually a terrible rate. And it was pretty, draining energy. And, I felt that time that it's a very bad result. Especially that I knew that when I finally acquired the client, they were mostly going to stay uh, with me for years, and I knew that my services are actually very, very good. So I realized that something is really wrong with my offer. And in July 2023 until now, I sell most of my main offers thanks to the system I wrote down a few years ago, and on 2023. And I wrote it once and actually made only a few minor updates. And you have the most recent version here, just showed on this screen on the right. And okay, so let's talk about the system. Uh, just gonna need to change here the okay, I'm here. So let's go. um so we have the freelancer offer, and as you can see, we have here two main parts. We have the main part and booster. I'm showing this on Miro. This is a platform for writing mind maps. I just really love to make mind maps. It makes your business much more strategic. Okay, we have the first question on YouTube. Should I offer a guarantee? What kind, so that there is no risk for me? Oh yeah, actually a tough question. We're just heading to this because as you can see here, we're gonna talk about the guarantees, and yeah, so we are just heading to this question. Okay, so we have two main offers, two main components of the main part, which is positive and negative. You want to increase the positive, and you want to decrease the negative. And okay, let's head to this results. Okay, so this is actually what 90% of offers looks like for freelancers. It's just showing the scope, the results, deliverables, process, something like that. So, um, so we are heading to the guarantee, and we have the result part here, and it's showing. You probably know this one. This is showing deliverables. You probably know how to show the deliverables. Uh you want to also show the process, which is also quite important. Not such It's not such an important thing comparing to deliverables, but still I think it's quite important to show how do you work. And the third thing is to show your status. And status is quite important because you want to show how you can change the status of your client. So we as human beings are uh, we're based on the status. So that's why people want to buy cars. Yes, because they want to have the status. And if even you say that you just don't use status, and because you're you know uh, in an economic car, it's not true. It's not true. Probably is not true, because if you're sitting in an economic car, it's also your value. You're also showing your status. You just show that you are not created only for money, probably. So it's also a kind of status. Yes. So so yeah, so we are very, very based on the status, and our uh you know it's like we buy because of our feelings. Okay, let's move here to risk reversal. So um I basically believe that I wanted to answer this question. Should I offer a guarantee? What kind so that there is no risk for me? Uh, I'm not sure if this is. Um, I would a bit reverse the question. So, do you don't need you don't want to have the risk, but that means you're not very sure about your offer. And my point is that you want to be quite sure about what you are selling. Otherwise, it's hard to give a guarantee because people often don't use guarantees. Yes, but if you want to have no risk guarantees, I would say probably okay. Let's say for my business, for creating websites and designing websites in Figma. So I give it a guarantee that the website should have a free you have a non-stop guarantee for creating websites. It means that um, for designing in Figma, so we're on the process of designing the UI of the website. You want to show the client that you're so confident about your offer that you want to show that you can do multiple so let's say they give you a feedback. Okay, they give you a feedback, maybe once or twice. They don't want to have a feedback like 100 times, and like repairing can fix it the website. So my guarantee is that you can do multiple revisions, right? You want to give multiple revisions, like as many as you want to. But remember that when you give me, another revision and another, the time delivery just goes, much higher. It's like, it's, I don't know, like 2 months more, 3 months more of work. Yes. So that's my kind of guarantee. I can do design because if you don't like it, I just will not make the website. Okay, let's go to case studies. So, case studies are actually my favorite risk reversals because they show before buying that you uh, help other people like the client. So, for example, if you help founders of startups, show a case study of the startup. And now if you don't know how to get into the niche of startups, just help a startup for free. Really, that's the best point. When I was starting tutoring math, I did the first lessons for free. I just wanted to know what are the problems of my students. And I was helping elementary school, not high school. Most people tutor high school, but later on I just saw that I discovered that elementary school have, different problems. And also the parents were looking on, other problems. For instance, in high school they were looking more for the marks, and here in elementary school they told me that they want to the student their kid to know maths. And the grades are not such an important thing, and the same for your clients. You want to show um you want to know the problems of your clients, and you want to make this case study with a storytelling. I'll just write that. So you want this to make a storytelling. It's very, very important because when a client reads your case studies, you want to be sure that he just read most of the case study, and it should be engaging. Then we have numbers and reviews. So even if you don't have numbers, you actually have numbers. So for instance, if you didn't make a website for a client, remember that you can make a website just for education. Yes. So you probably made while training. You probably and educating you. You made a website if you are selling websites, yes. Same for, I don't know, like copywriting, guys. You probably know how to write things, so you can also, give a number of that. And for reviews, you is, a long term game, so it, it will come, yes. And also you can, reach to your best friends to give you a review. It's also quite good. And we have the best use case. So I love to use that. People don't use it. So if you go, for example, on loom.com, just g- give me to share this. Okay. So where you have loom.com, I love that they have something like solutions. This is just exactly the best use case. So you want to show a use case for your client. So for example, if you help founders, you want to make a use case for founders. If you help, um, enterprises, you want to show enterprises. So I really like here to use the solutions. So for instance, if I was like showing my my best use cases for my clients, for my agency, I would say that is this, for founders, for marketing, and for sales, something like Loom here. Great thing. So if you go, let's say, to sales, they will show you how they can help you with sales with Loom. So that's really good. So for instance, I am looking into marketing probably, and maybe, mm, business, something like that. So marketing might be the choice. And because, I'm streaming right now, so I'm doing marketing right now. And yeah, so they are showing on how I can use it, uh, as chief of the marketing here, right? Okay, let's go back here. And we have delivery time and client actions. And here, uh, this is a tricky thing, delivery time. So let's say you make design, and you want to bring, um, you have the delivery time, let's say, for the UI, like, I don't know, 2 weeks. So that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. And the thing is that, like, to to shorten the time, um, as much as possible in a psychological way. So you want to show timelines and milestones. You want to show what's the process and what are the milestones of the project. Because in a human's mind, you want to, if you can see when the result will come, you will wait it for it. You can also add, milestones between the start and the end. And you can show that, um, we are doing psychological, um, um, data. We are looking for data. Let's say, as a designer, I want to, like, search for your client's fears, needs, and all those stuff. That's the case here. So you want to show, this day 5, I'm doing this and this. Okay, I have a question here. Let's see the question. How can I deal with it's too expensive without losing the client? Okay. mm, it's too expensive. Well, it really actually depends on your business, because it really depends. Maybe they're right, maybe they're not right, but you can offer them a downsell. And if it's too expensive for them, you can bring something that is exactly for their fit. So if you sell, let's say, suits, okay, you bring in an expensive one. So let's say for 10K dollars. And if they say it's too expensive, you can say, okay, but we can bring you something valuable, maybe not as much as valuable, but still valuable. And it's like 2K. So yeah, so does it fit you? Okay. Let's go to um yeah, to do client actions. And here you want to make the decision low, very, very low. So, and the time on client's calendar are also quite important here. So, this one is actually, um, yeah. So, you want to make, the client actions as the amount of this as small as possible because, your offer is more valuable if you have, um, if the client doesn't need to do this. So, for example, if you have a let's say garden, you sometimes want to give the effort to rent someone who will hire someone who will clean the garden for you. Yes, this is the same here. They probably need to hire you because they need to save time. So you want to show an offer how they can save time and money while hiring you. So that's very, very important because people, look on the outputs, only on the results of what you can gain working with us, but they don't show how to save actually when you have an offer. And yeah, you want to just show how to save. Okay, so we are heading to the end of the stream, and let's talk about the boosters. So, as I showed you before, the freelancer with core value is much, much better than not having an offer and having it, in a generic way. But we actually want to have the freelancer offer, which contain boosters. And this is an exciting one because it actually very, 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 very increases your your conversion rate. It's very important. Okay, just let me see only how does the okay how it's going. Great. Um. Okay. So here we have avatar and for who and for not who. Like I said before, it's quite important to show for who is the offer and for who is not. And this is because creating an avatar shows like, do I qualify for this offer? You really want to show this. It's also the use case I just showed you before, the solutions here. Okay, let's move to naming. So naming is a creative one. uh you want to look for something sneaky and creative. I would say, like for me, my offer called Exile is quite a sneaky one because it's about excitement, and excitement drives to sales. So mm, I think this is a good name, a really, really solid name for an offer. So you need to find yours, and it took me about a year to find this naming. So try it your best, and then change it. Okay. Should just let me show you this comment here from Mary. And should the name be short, not complicated? It's simple. Of course, it should be short, as short as possible. So if you look on Apple, you have iPad, iPhone, uh, max. So yeah, that's quite a short name for a product for sure. um and I know this is a service, but most freelancers have services, but you really want to have a name like a product. Okay, let's move. That's actually a great question. Urgency. What about urgency? You want to? There are multiple ways to show urgency. One of the way I like to use it is when a client calls me, I actually use urgency and I say them something like that. So if you want, so let's say I was, pitching them, and then at the end you want to say that my price is this and this, and only today you have, let's say, 20% off, or let's say you have a bonus if you sign for this offer today. So time is limited. Or let's say only now you can be, that might be tough, but you can say also during the call that if you say yes right now, you'll get 20%. So, and if we make the contract today, you'll sign up the contract today, then it's you get a free training for your team. Yes, which is just a crazy bonus. And here are bonuses. So we just covered the bonuses as well right now. So a free training, I don't know, a free tool, uh, PDF, um, templates, and things like that. And we have scarcity. Scarcity is really good. You can use it on your website. You can use it in every place where your offer is. So you can just show that today it's only 2 slots left, uh, which is really cool. So scarcity is very, very cool to use because you can use it every time, everywhere. Okay, and we have the last one, which is price and payments. And price and payments is price and payments. We have we have two components. We have the price, and you want to write it down, the price. You don't want to negotiate with yourself. That is the one of the biggest freelancing problem is the negotiating with yourself. So you want to write down a fair price, not too low, not too high, and it actually can change, but you always say the same price for the same scope every time when when showing the deal. So you want to show the price before. You want to write it down before the call. You can change it after the call. So please remember this. I'm making this always like I never ever do pricing um during the call in my head. I know before the call that I want this and this for this scope. Of course, if you decrease the scope and it takes less time to do something, then I can understand that the price is lower or higher if the scope increases. So that's pretty normal. Okay, what are the best bonuses? Are bonuses always good? Uh, I would say yes, probably mostly are quite good. Um, People love bonuses. They like that they loved, I don't know, let's say an audit or a PDF or a training or something like that. Bonuses are great. Maybe reports. And another question here? Is it better to ask for payment before the work is done? Yeah, I just said like 20 minutes ago that I'm a fan of 30/70, 770, which is 30% prepaid before buying your offer, so 30% prepaid, and 70% after the job is done. Also, if you like, you can add some variables inside. So let's say, I don't know, like a 10% milestone during during the work you do. So if you create websites for, let's say, you have, designing the site, um you have the pre-work, the design part, you have the development part, and security part, and all those stuff. And analytics and SEO. So you have a lot of things to do. Then I would suggest to divide this on few parts, and you know you the client can pay you every after part of your job done. But remember that this is also the client action. It means he has to pay you every time the part is done. So remember, this might lower your value a bit. Just look out for this one. Okay. Do we have any more questions? We don't. We are just ending the stream. Um, Price and payments, like I said, 30% 30% prepaid, 70% after the work. This is the most simplest, I think. I mean, the most simplest is to pay before or after the job, but I think it's not the most efficient one. So the most efficient and simple one is to have the 30% prepaid, uh, which is actually quite fair in the B2B world, because maybe in the B2C might be not too fancy, but B2B is absolutely great if you have a great contract. Okay, we have a clone here, so don't look at this one. Okay, we have here. Yeah. So remember, the avatar is also very important. It's basically copywriting, and you want to show your best. Okay, guys. So I think we are heading to the end of this stream, and I'll just see. Uh, okay, I'm heading to Poznan tomorrow, and we are going to record there some shorts for freelancers, and we will next week we are going to probably, I'm not sure, but probably we are going to talk about how to create offers, um, meaning the sequences of the offers. So when to use an upsell, when to use lead magnets, when to make a retainer, because retainers are very important, because they are a monthly uh, recurring revenue, which is MRR. And that's a complicated and it's simple as well topic, but most freelancers don't use it well. And they even don't know that, let's say, MRR is quite important. So I want to show next week probably on how to make the sequences. So yeah, so we'll see you guys on Thursday on the coffee break. Um, so stay tuned. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Will Webkowski, and also Will Webkowski on X. And hit the bell button to see more of those lives. And there's gonna be a lot of valuable things. We're gonna write offers together in Notion. We'll make a simulation of how to write an offer. So, guys, I'll see you then tomorrow. I mean, no, on Thursday. On Thursday. And yeah, have a great day. See you. Bye. And also remember